What's going on, YouTube? We're back at another video. Yeah, we're just gonna go everything over on Narja. We're gonna go through her cards, her epiphanies. They actually showed us all of it, which is pretty dope. And we're gonna go through her partner as well, manifest ego, all that good stuff. So let's get into it. Obviously, first off, we have to start off with the lobby screen because we know that's important. And I'll say it's definitely a W lobby screen. I don't know if anything's gonna top Sereno in terms of how much goon there is. But yeah, this one's pretty solid. We do get to look at some of her cards here. You know, the typical 3 basic cards. You know, she's got attack card, 120% defense base damage, then 2 cards heal, and you get 2 ferocity. So she's gonna have these 2 things called ferocity and predation, which we're gonna get into later what they do and stuff like that, but it is definitely important to know that. Then her last card is mealtime, and here we're gonna get to see what ferocity and predation is, but this one's a retain and a unique card. If ferocity is decreased, decrease cost by 1. So every time you're using ferocity while she has ferocity, Narja, the cost of this card is gonna go down. So obviously 6 cost is kind of crazy, but it does go down every time your ferocity is decreased. And add plus 30% heal amount, max 10 until used, 192% defense base damage to all enemies, AoE, heal 120% for predations. So now we're gonna get into what ferocity is. When hitting with an attack card, 40% fixed heal. That's for, I guess, her and other combatants, which is actually nice. So every time you're using an attack card, you're healing. So she's gonna be an insane healer off the rip. Okay, like just having that is gonna make her so insane. If health is 50% or higher, plus 30% damage amount dealt by attack cards when the effect is activated, decreased by 1. Yeah, insane what ferocity could do, you know. So it's gonna heal you and it's gonna give you a buff here. So, you know, obviously keeping up them ferocity stacks could definitely be key. Then here we got predation. If in ferocity state, plus 80% damage amount dealt by attack cards when the effect is activated, decreased by 1. So yeah, 80% damage. Yeah, so she's going to be an insane buffer, of course, and she seems like she's going to be able to heal very nicely. So is she like a Mika power creep? Then again, Mika can give AP, but so she does have that, but then again, she's helping you ravage, which technically can give you AP if you're able to ravage the enemy, of course. But bro, the healing and the attack buff is definitely 100% nice. Then here we do have her ego skill, 10 ferocity, 250% defense base damage. If mealtime is in graveyard, 5 predation. So I'm guessing, so let's say you've used this card and it goes into graveyard, then you use her ult, you're gonna get 10 ferocity and you're gonna get 5 predation. So I really love the fact that her ultimate is worth using, and it's something you're probably gonna use, because I feel like a lot of ultimates in this game, even though they have very nice animations, it's like you don't really need them. Like you don't really need to use it. Like you could probably beat everything in the game right now without using the ultimates of characters. So I really hope they just make ego skills a lot more usable in scenarios. And I like that her one is definitely 100% usable, because you're gonna want to get that ferocity and predation. So I like what they did here with her ego skill for sure. Okay, here we have her partner, Gaia. So yeah, passive, snow upon the heart. The assigned combatant's defense is increased by 8 to 16%, plus 20 to 40% defense based damage for the assigned combatant instant cards when using a unique attack card for the assigned combatant with an original cost of 6, plus 20% to 40% damage amount of all allies. Max 1 stack. Ego skill, ice worms raw, 60% defense based damage times 4. Ooh. Draw 1 of this unit's attack card. That's pretty nice. Okay, her partner seems pretty nice for her, of course, definitely made for her, as you could tell. But yeah, her partner probably definitely worth getting for her. Now we're gonna get into the manifest ego. Then after the manifest egos, we're gonna get into the epiphanies. So her first one is increase meal times predation by 2, whatever. Second one is when ferocity decreases, has a 25% chance to gain 1 ferocity. Pretty solid. Increase predators hunting method, predation gained if mealtime is in graveyard by 3. Okay, and the fourth one seems pretty good, plus 30% damage amount to predation. That's definitely gonna be a big buff for sure. We're gonna skip over 5 because 5 is just, you know, the potential levels. At the end of turn, deal 50% defense base damage to random enemies and heal 1% of health for each predation decrease this turn. Yeah, whatever. I don't know. I don't think you really need to get her potentials, man. I don't think it's going to be anything too great. So all of that stuff out the way, let's get into the epiphanies for her, okay? So first one we have is Shackles of Hunger. We have this one, which is an attack card. It costs 1, 36% defense base damage times 4, attunement, 6 ferocity. I'm liking the sound of that. I'll always have a thing for cards that can hit multiple times. It just seems really nice, and obviously that 6 ferocity could come in clutch. So what attunement is, when this card is drawn, the 6 ferocity will activate. So the attunement will basically activate when this card is drawn, but it has to be from the draw pile. Okay, so next one we have Shackles of Hunger, 0 cost attack, 36% defense base damage times 2 at the start of turn. If ferocity was activated 3 or more times in the previous turn, move to hand. Attunement 1 ferocity. Interesting. It is a 0 cost. This one is a 1 cost. 60% defense base damage times 3. Add 1 hit for each 4 ferocity owned. Max 3 times. Oh damn, max 3 times. So this could only go up to 3 times. So 4, 8, 12. So if you have 12 ferocity, that would be 3 times. Then that would basically be times 6, right? Okay, I'm surprised they put a max on that. It would have been crazy if they didn't, to be fair. She might have been a bit too cracked if they did. That's definitely going to be an interesting one for sure. The next one is a skill one. It costs 1, is a retain as well. Decrease ferocity by max 5, plus 40% damage amount to the next used attack card for each amount decreased. If 5 is decreased, 3 predation. Oh, interesting. To the next used attack card. So it could be any attack card that's, as long as it's in your hand, or just straight up the next attack card that's used. It doesn't matter if it's hers or another combatant's. Damn, you might be able to nuke with her then, right? Yeah, plus 40% damage amount is actually crazy. Let's say you got a Ray in there, you know, you got that ferocity and predation there. It could be insane, the percentage numbers that you could get on someone. This one is a 0 cost, it's a skill one. 72% shield, decrease ferocity by max 3, repeat for each amount decreased. Okay, so basically just shielding, but it's a 0 cost as well. There's definitely some interesting ones here. Next up we have is Bottomless Hunger. The first one, 0 cost skill card, 3 ferocity. The next 2 times ferocity is activated, decrease cost of 1 random card in hand by 1 for 1 turn. That's not bad. That's not bad. Definitely Chizuru like. Bottomless Hunger. I don't know why I keep repeating the name. 0 cost skill card, decrease cost of 2 random. Okay, this is just basically goddamn freaking Chizuru. But I don't know, maybe this alongside with Chizuru, like, your cards are probably not gonna cost anything, man. This one's a cost 1, is an upgrade and is unique. When ferocity is activated 3 times in 1 turn, decrease cost of 1 random card in hand by 1 until used 1 time per turn. Oh, but this is an upgrade card, so basically it's activated every turn. Interesting. 0 cost skill card, retain for 1 turn plus 100% defense base damage. Oh, and there's a retain on it as well. That is not bad. That is not bad. Next one, cost 1 skill card, has a lead on it. 7 ferocity for 1 turn. Each time ferocity is activated, plus 40% damage amount to the next mill time. Wait, 7 ferocity for 1 turn. Each time ferocity is activated, plus 40% damage amount to the next mill time. So if you are somehow able to activate it, wait, what? Holy, that's a very interesting card right there. By the way, lead is basically, what is lead again? I think when the card's drawn, it has a chance to cost 1 less, right? So this could potentially cost 0 when it's like drawn from your draw pile into your hand. But yeah, 7 ferocity for 1 turn. Each time ferocity is activated, plus 40% damage amount to the next mill time. Bro, if you could, like, plus 40% damage for each, if you have a whole bunch of ferocity and somehow you're able to use all of that, oh my days, the percentage damage amount could be crazy. Holy. Alright, next one we got is voluntary control. Cost 1 skill card. If ferocity is fewer than 6 stacks, gain 9 ferocity. If 6 or more stacks, gain 3 predation. 0 cost skill card. If mealtime is in draw pile, move to hand. If in graveyard, free morale for 1 turn. Yo, I know she could do a good amount of healing and a good amount of buffing, but why does it seem like she might be able to do some decent damage too, man? It seems like she's going to be able to do some good damage. The next one, it costs 1 skill card for 2 turns. Each time action count of the target is decreased 1 ferocity. Next one is an upgrade. It costs 1 unique on it. 10 ferocity. Select 1 attack card, 1 predation each time that card is moved to hand. Ooh. They knew to put unique on this. Imagine you had like 3 of these and you just get 30 ferocity, bro. That would be insane. But yeah, this one's definitely an interesting one for sure. Next one, it costs 1 upgrade card, unique on it as well. Each time a basic attack card inflicts a hit, 1 ferocity plus 50% damage amount to basic attack cards. So that Chizuru basic attack card build could definitely work with this. Obviously Maylin as well. Who else does basic attacks? I think it's mostly those two, but this will work very well for Chizuru because Chizuru could probably use a lot more basic attacks. Yeah, but then again, if you have your Maylin and you have her built with the right Epiphanies, and you have Veronica that's able to draw, then you might be able to get, you know, use a whole bunch of basic attack cards if drawn correctly for sure. So yeah, this could be really nice. I feel like there's going to be so many ways to build Narja, honestly. Now, I believe this is her last one, Domain of Ferocity. 120% defense based damage to all enemies. Increased tenacity damage taken of the target by 100% until their next Ravage. And on Ravage, free Ferocity. So attack cards, this one costs 1. Same here. 120% defense based damage to all enemies for 2 turns. Huh? Oh, okay. To all enemies for 2 turns plus 100% defense based damage taken by the target. Okay, that's actually pretty good. For 2 turns plus 100% defense based damage. Like, bro, it's like she's gonna be able to do some good self. Bro, wait, oh my days, she actually seems pretty good, man. Obviously, I don't know if we really need like healers and stuff, because I feel like, okay, but then again, it depends on tower, right? But the healing and the buffing is going to be amazing, but it seems like she's going to be able to buff herself to do decent damage as well, and even other characters if they had defense based damage as well. But yeah, 180% defense based damage to all enemies when hitting the target for the next 5 times, heal 40%. This one costs 3, has a retain on it. 384% defense based damage to all enemies. Okay, if granted both ferocity and predation, activate 1 more time. That's insane. Oh, but for 2 turns plus 100% defense base, if he was able to somehow get both of these, because you know how like sometimes you could dupe a card before it gets an epiphany, then if you could dupe Domain of Ferocity before you get the epiphany, then now you have 2 of them, and one of them does epiphanies into this one and the other one epiphanies into this one. It will be interesting to see what you could do, because that could be a good setup, you know, because of the 100% that defense based damage taken. This is already at 384%. I'm pretty sure that she has other cards that could buff it. Like, this percentage could be really high, and you're telling me you could activate 1 more time if granted both ferocity and predation. That's going to be interesting to see like how to trigger it and if it actually works, because you know how this game be. So this one's a cost 1 upgrade, unique. Each time meal time is used, heal 200. Who cares, bro? I mean, it is an upgrade, so every time you do use it, it's gonna heal. I don't know. I'm really interested in the double epiphanies of these. I would just want to see how much damage it could do. And I believe that's going to be it. We went through her partner, we went through her ego manifestations, we went through her epiphanies as well. I think technically the only thing we're missing is really potentials, but when it comes to support characters, you usually don't need to level up anything. Her two main ones are going to be defense, and I believe the other one was, so yeah, we have it here, defense, crit. So you're probably going to want to level up these two. They obviously had this one leveled up. This one usually just sucks. This one seems pretty good though. Plus 10% damage to ferocity if Narja's defense is greater than 300, plus 20% damage amount to predation. So seems like you're gonna want to get that defense on her. But if Narja's defense is greater than 300 plus 20% damage, okay, so 30%, getting above 300 shouldn't be hard, right? I'm pretty sure that's pretty easy, to be fair. Yeah, okay, so yeah, that 30% should be pretty easy. But yeah, you're probably gonna only level up this one, and this one. I mean, those defense based, I don't know, I haven't used any defense based damage characters, so I don't even know if they crit or anything or how it works, but I guess they do, right? Yeah, I haven't pulled Khaleesi, I haven't pulled Magna, even though I've done a ton of summons, and I do have Amir and Maribel, but I didn't level them up. But yeah, that's her potentials, and I believe we went through everything. She seems like she could be a cool character. I think she's gonna be very, very good support. Like, honestly, like the amount of healing she's probably gonna do, and the amount of buffing, and the amount of self buffing that she could potentially do as well is gonna be interesting. And I definitely feel like you could build various versions of her. Even that basic attack card one could definitely be good with Chizuru and Mei Lin. And yeah, bro, she and the defense based damage buffing she was doing as well, so maybe with other defense based damage units, she's also going to be good for them as well. She definitely seems like she could have a build that works really well for Serennial. So I'm gonna be honest, Narja could work in so many teams and so many different type of team comps. Like, she's a very, very good support, man. But that's how support should be made, right? They should be able to work with like several teams, man. I usually hate when gacha games do these support characters and they really only, like, they perfectly suit 1-2 characters, you know, and so you pull for that, you know, support to make that team. But Narja seems like she could just fit in every team, because she's gonna heal crazy amounts, she's gonna be able to buff you, she's gonna be able to buff herself. Like, bro, what more do you need, man? She's just doing everything, bro. But yeah, man, that's gonna be it for me. I think Narja overall seems like she's gonna be a very good character for sure. But I'll catch y'all in the next one. I'm out.